Okay, hi guys, Glyn here. Just thought I'd do a spontaneous video where we've just finished a photo shoot. This was a commercial shoot for a upcoming Christmas production of Sleeping Beauty. And the first shoot that we took, or first pictures they wanted really, was the traditional shot of Sleeping Beauty on the bed with Prince Charming, I think it is, giving her the kiss because she's been asleep for 100 years. So we come to the location, beautiful hotel. I think we're kind of like Rickmansworth in the UK area. And if you can kind of see the room that we've got, the first thoughts when we first get this kind of shoot was that it was going to be an old castle-y kind of room with the old brick walls and stuff like that. But you can see this is a very modern room. So all I thought I'd do with this video is just give you an idea of a very, very quick run through of the lighting that we did and why we did it that way. Because I think sometimes when it comes to lighting, out of all this stuff that we're doing with our photography and flash, one of the hardest things can be like, well, how did you light it? Why did you put it in a certain way? So you'll probably see on some footage I'm going to overlay over this, you'll probably see that my friend JJ's taken, who's holding the camera now. Hi JJ. And it's just basically to give you an idea of why I lit it in a certain way. So you may have the footage now, but here's the bed that Sleeping Beauty was on. We've got this kind of modern, kind of tasteful headrest. So JJ's idea, cover this over, and this was kind of like material that was on the bottom of the bed. So we've brought that over just to cover that up because we want this to look like an old room. So my thinking was with this, we've got a window here, but the bed's in the wrong position for the lighting that I wanted. I want this to look as if it's in a castle. Like you see, if you go to Google and you type Sleeping Beauty, you see that she's on the bed and there's a big old window with a lighting onto her. So I thought, this is how we can light it then. So my thinking was, and you'll see from the video, I've got a big 1 meter square, 100 centimeter square softbox on this side of the room here. Okay, so that big softbox is here. Sleeping Beauty's head and so body's going this way here. So the idea is that this big softbox will give us nice, beautiful, soft light as if it's coming into the picture. Because that's how I think about it. I'm kind of started in this as a retoucher, so I'm thinking, how's it going to look later on? Well, I know that I want a window light coming in. So they're going to get highlights on them, and later on in the finished picture, that area here, or this area here, will have an old wall put onto it, and I'll probably put in an old window as well. So when a lay person looks at it, they kind of understand why they've got that light on them. It's coming from that direction. Now also maybe on the video you'll see that I've got a strip box. Now this is a strip box that's kind of turned so that it's going the full length of Sleeping Beauty. So while she's laid there, we've got this light source coming in from the window, lighting her up really nicely here, but the other side of her, too many shadows. So this light here was just to light the shadows up just a little bit. Those of you who love camera settings, I think the light here, this big light, was all about f8. And the reason for that was so that Sleeping Beauty, parts of the room, and Jonathan Ansell, who's playing the part of Prince Charming or whatever, so that he was in focus as well. So that's f8. And the light, the strip light, just to kick a bit of detail into those shadows, I think was maybe around about 5.6, something like that. So that's just to give you an overview of how I would approach this, because when you first come into this room, you're like, my God, this just looks like a brand new modern hotel room. We've got to make it look old. So by lighting it in this certain way, and that's how I think about it, keep it simple. When you're concerned or confused as to where you're going to put lights, just think ahead. In the final picture, what is that light going to represent? So that's how this one was here. You might have seen in my portfolio, if you've taken a look, I've got a picture of a guy there with a trilby hat on and an old coat. Looks like a scene from the 50s when he's got a cigar and he's got his head down. 2 lights in that. Now I knew how to light that because I wanted it to make him look as if he was stood in a street under a street light. So all I do is I get a flash head and I use like a small reflector high up coming down just like a street light would be. So that's my main light and just a little bit of light filling in. So there you go, that's how I think about it. I'm thinking ahead, what do those lights represent? Hopefully that'll help you. And yeah, keep an eye out on the website. I should have the finished picture of this main one here, Sleeping Beauty, available so you can have a look at it pretty soon. But for now, I'll see you next time.